Good evening and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm, okay? So like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things, okay? Okay, I wanted to talk about a story that I just saw, okay? I actually saw it I don't know, maybe a little while ago, a couple days or something ago, and I wanted to do a video on it. I think I ran across it a few days ago, but I wasn't in a position to do a video on it. And it talks about a trans inmate was transferred back to the men's prison after being charged with rape, RAPE, okay? After being charged with RAPE. This goes back to, there was issues when, people wanted for and I've always had issues with men being at the women's jail and women being at the men's jail, okay? That happened when I was working for the sheriff's office some years back. Um, this woman looks just like a man, but this was just a mistake. And they transferred her. She looks. The police brought her. The Memphis Police Department brought her to the male's jail, 201 Poplar, and they brought her. They brought her to 201 Poplar, and nobody knew that it was a woman. She was just that butch. Okay, and what happened was the inmates ended up saying something to one of the guards. They said because they noticed every time she went to use the restroom, she sit down. And they was like, that's weird. And they finally said something to the guard. And the guard started watching and said, are you a woman? That's how that happened. I promise to God. Okay. It's weird. And see, that could have been a bad situation. Because you talking about a bunch of horny men. Um, they could have done anything to her. But I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of times those men that be in jail don't want no woman. Okay, she was missing a part, the part that they want. She wasn't born with it. Okay, but I want to read. I want to talk. I'm gonna go to this because I found this interesting. Okay, it says a trans inmate was transferred back to a men's prison after being charged with RAPE while in custody at a woman's facility. Tremaine Dion Carroll was serving a 25-year to life sentence under California's three-strike law when he identified as female and requested to be transferred to a woman's prison. California law allows male-bodied inmates to be transferred to women's prisons based on gender identity. I've always had an issue with that, and I'm going to tell you why. In sworn testimony in 2023, Carroll stated, I know what it feels like to live in fear and to carry the weight of the past abuse by men. But I am not a threat. However, soon after Carroll arrived at the Central California Women's Facility, multiple female inmates reported that Carroll RAPE'd them. ED'd them. In 2021, a female judge tossed out a lawsuit filed by those inmates. On January 30th, another inmate accused Carroll of RAPING her in the shower. Carroll was transferred to Kern Valley State Prison, an all-male facility in Delano. 50 male-bodied inmates are being housed at women's prisons in California. There are hundreds more on a waiting list. The American Civil Liberties Union, Trans Law Center, and Lambda Legal represented Carroll in a lawsuit filed by a women's rights group that opposes policies that permit male-bodied inmates in women-only spaces. The ACLU Foundation of Southern California, Lambda Legal, and Trans Law Center said in a joint statement that they are unable to speak about the specifics of Carroll's criminal case and all allegations of sexual misconduct, but must be investigated thoroughly and fairly. We continue to represent the interveners including for trans women and our partners organization TGIJP, to ensure that the voices of trans people are heard in the case, the statement says. Okay. Yeah, what has this world come to? So a man's, and see, this is the issue that I had when Obama was in office. He changed the law allowing men that identified as being, they could have just identified as being female for a day, right, to go into restrooms, and more sexual sexual assault cases went up, especially, y'all know I have to be careful when I say on here, especially as it relates to women, right? And if you all can, and children, if you all can remember, they had on video, and I remember looking at it where, in Macy's, a man saw a woman going into a female restroom. The security guard in Macy's was looking at him. He could not say anything because Obama had changed the laws, and he went in there and he raped that woman. Okay. Right in the restroom, and the security guard couldn't say anything about him walking into the female's restroom. When Trump got into office, he reversed that, but I think for Target or somebody still allows that. If you whatever you identify with that day, you can. If you identify, you could be a straight man. You identify with being a woman, you can go into the female's restroom. That is making women vulnerable. A woman was complaining about what he was doing to them, and a judge threw it out the first time and threw out their lawsuits. Okay. And so now they got 20 men in California that are housed in these facilities and on the waiting list. So now if they identify with that, they still got their wings and stuff. They can just go into these facilities and violate these women. That is exactly what is going on. Okay. Because I mean, he don't look like no trans man to me. Really? He just said he identified with being a woman. So this is what we're doing now. Okay, this is the time. This is why I said we have to be very meticulous. We have to watch very carefully who we allow. Okay, who we allow into office, because they quietly do stuff like this. There's no way or no reasons why men should be housed in facilities with women, especially as it relates to jail. They're talking about, well, they have to worry about being, when they identify as being a woman, the other men taking advantage of them. At least they all got peckers. Okay, so you put them in a facility with women just because they identify. They don't even necessarily have to be like that. They could just be faking. Okay, and make the women vulnerable. See, this is the type of stuff that I always say that we're supposed to be fighting against. Okay? One of the reasons, and I just started really going back into Target, but that's one of the reasons why I couldn't bring myself to go into Target. Because you make women and children vulnerable, letting men walk all up in the restroom, and they knew that the numbers went up as it relates to assaults against children and women when this was going on. But they have an agenda to push, and all we can do is just fight against each other when stuff like this is going on. Okay? This is just not right. It's just not right at all. But at TSU, it went away really quick. They started something some years back, whereas you wouldn't be able to identify. They was going to take your sex off of the application or something to that nature. Tennessee State, they wanted to get that off of the application. You don't identify as having a sex, right? And the enrollment went down. That went away. We ain't heard another damn thing about it. And that's how you have to do it. If you don't like something, you show them you don't like it by not voting for them, voting them out, and pulling back your resources. That's the only way people are going to listen, because this right here, is as a woman that was born with a vagina, my rights and the rights of my daughters that were born female are put on the back burner for somebody, and we're put in danger for somebody who just claims that I feel like a woman today. That's a crime against me. That's a crime against any other woman. These women, they let this man that still got a peck of wood on attached to him that he was born with get in the shower with naked women while his thing slanging. Okay, because he talking about looking at these women with no clothes on, and then he took him some. So if he don't want to be in there with those men, he talking about they getting this booty. I mean, him being a trans, it seemed like me that's what he want to be. Why don't he want to be in there with the men? He can get more. Lord, stop me, because y'all know because when I start to get mad, I'll get my mouth can become real nasty. Okay, but he be getting hit up as much as he want to. So they don't separate him from the women. They let him go and dress out and take showers with the women, and that's where these women were getting assaulted at. And this ain't all flashing all over. See, this is the type of stuff that we're supposed to be dealing with. If he don't want them getting his booty, he ought to stay out of jail. If he claimed that that's what he identified with, I mean, that would be heaven for him to be in a jail with men getting his butt, But instead, he's put in a place where he claims that so now they said they got a waiting list full. It's backed up. People talking about I identify as being a woman that wants to leave the male facility and come to the female facility and make these females vulnerable. Okay. See, this is the type of stuff that we're supposed to be fighting against and getting the politicians out that even allow stuff like this. Okay. But I thought that was an interesting story. Hey, this is what they're doing. See, they keep us focused on stuff that don't matter so that they can quietly change laws to accommodate stuff like this, because there is an agenda. Okay. But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.